today on Divorce Court.
Terry's gambling is out of control.
My gambling is not a problem.
Our house is just too small.
Martina wants us to get a bigger house for her stuff. I can't afford it.
If I had to choose between the stuff that I very much love, I would make Terry sleep out in the shed.
I think Martina loves her stuff way more than me.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Martina Triplett and Terry Freeman. The two of you have been together for a year and a half. You have been engaged for the last 5 months. You have some concerns about your marriage, so you've come to me to ask my opinion. You've given me your marriage license with permission to tear it up should I think the union is ill-advised. You also took my compatibility test. And now, Ms. Triplett, you're going to tell me, what is your primary concern? We know you love him, but why are you worried about marrying him?
Well, just let me tell you, Terry keep on cracking these washed up jokes everywhere we go. I'll give you an example of one of them. One day we was at this gas station, he was just walking, and all of a sudden we get about 10 or 15 feet to the door, he falls out, like something just knocked him cold out. So I run over
He just fell down?
Just fell down, just nonsense. I saw her go over there and say, honey, are you okay, honey, you okay? And so two people came around me to help me get him up. While we was trying to get him up, the woman said, do we need to call 911? He said, pimp in distress, pimp in distress. You ain't gotta pay me today.
Did you fall out and scream pimp down?
Well, it's just a little joke. I'm just having fun, you know what I'm saying? Just fun.
And that's funny because, I mean, I'm not saying, I mean, you know,
I like
what's the joke?
It's a joke. Me falling down and having people thinking that
that you fell out.
Yes.
And then you break out with pimp in distress.
It just look.
I'm trying to work with you. I love a good joke. But that's just what you do.
Yes.
Are there any other tired jokes that he tells?
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you about this one. So he calls me like he does, well, baby, I'm going to Mom's house. You know, maybe to eat or help her around the house, his mother. So I said, okay, I'm going on to the house. Maybe I'm going to do something, have some me time just for me. So I open the door, walk on in about 3 feet. Who pops up out the closet? Terry does. Scared the mess out of me. I felt like I was on Sanford and Son for a minute, about to have me a heart attack. You know what I mean?
Mr. Freeman, did you jump out the closet?
Yes, I did.
Just to give her a start?
I like to see the scary look on her face. It makes me happy.
It makes you happy.
Yes.
The frightened look on your face makes you happy. Mr. Freeman, what do you think the problem is in this relationship? What's keeping you from walking down the aisle?
Her hoarding. It's getting outrageous.
Okay.
It's stuff.
That's a big issue, and I want to talk about that a little later, because you claim she's a hoarder, right?
Yes.
You claim that we're going to look at some evidence and see whether or not she is. But in the meantime, I want to talk to you, Ms. Triplett. You say you have issues with his hygiene.
Oh, wait a minute.
Explain to me what those are.
Let me tell you, you know, he works in this place where he washes dishes, take out the trash. Ain't no telling what else he do. But he be coming home all washed up, greased up, smelly up. So me as the soon-to-be wife do my duties. Take his clothes and wash them. He sit around, maybe get him something to eat, talk, or help her around the house, maybe. Then he goes to sleep from being tired and exhausted. Then it's the next time, it's time for him to get up and go to work. Where my clothes at, baby? Hold up, ain't you gonna go and take a bath first? When I wash my face, I'm gonna be late. So he continued to put on his clean clothes on this nasty, greased up fine body he's supposed to have. Pimp in distress. Pimp gonna be looking a mess if he don't get it right.
Mr. Freeman, do you skip the shower when maybe you ought not?
No. It's just when I come home, I be frustrated with her, you know what I'm saying? I like, okay, she want to have, intercourse, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, no, you done made me mad, so you ain't getting none today, you know what I'm saying? So I'm finna go and not take a shower. Until the next morning.
Until the next morning to keep her away.
Yeah.
Well, that is a whole, I never, you know, at divorce court, I always say I've seen it all. That's a new one. I stay funky so I don't have to have sex. That's interesting.
So it's a new one for me, too,
That's a whole new one. Thank you, Mr. Freeman. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I'd like change. You say he has a gambling problem. Is that true?
That is most definitely true.
Explain that to me.
Ooh, where should I start? Let me start about this $3,000 a month. Makes good money, but I barely even see some of it. He couldn't even buy me an engagement ring with the cash. But I'm not gonna complain too much because from him gambling so much, he had so many points and bought me an engagement ring. I'm sorry, right now it's in the pawn shop where I pawn it because I feel like I need to be going to get me a few tickets. But he hides them in all these weird places.
See, her gambling problem is way worse than mine. Extremely worse than mine.
What kind of gambling does she do?
Scratch off.
Scratch off.
I go to the casino every now and then, but her...
Every now and again? Come on now.
Well, Mr. Freeman, let me ask you this.
Talking to me.
How much money do you think you spend every month on scratch off?
Every month? Just about probably 1,000.
You ought to stop.
That's it. You need every month.
Isn't that 1/3 of your take-home pay?
It's okay. I also
Why
do
is it
side
okay?
work.
Huh?
I also do side work too.
So you have a second job?
3,
Where?
4, 5.
Mr. Freeman, how much money do you say Ms. Triplett spends every month on scratch-off cards? Give me a ballpark.
About
1,000?
2,000. Yes.
Do you spend $2,000 a month on scratch-off cards?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, but I do be winning, so you can't consider all of that coming from straight out of my pocket or
So
his
last
pocket.
year, they got how much and you got how much? Who's up?
They is, I guess. I plead the fifth.
They're always up.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, they're always up. $3,000 a month. Do you know what you people could do with $3,000 a month? Do you own a home?
No.
Do you have any investments? I mean, there's so many things. $3,000 a month.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't invest in the state of wherever you are. Invest in the state of your situation. I'm excited on the one hand because I rarely get people who have $3,000 worth of disposable income in here. So I'm just excited that you make that kind of money. But I'm a little distressed by how you spend it.
Yes.
Having said that, I want to move forward to something you said, Mr. Freeman, which is she is a hoarder.
Yes.
I understand you also have a video for me. Now, what room is this?
That's the dining area right there. The living room. Everywhere, CDs, glasses.
Just step back away from whatever it is you're trying to do. Would you agree with me that that looks a little beyond the pale? So, Mr. Freeman, you contend that Ms. Triplett is a hoarder. Why do you say that?
She collects so much things, so many things. I can't walk in the house without tripping over something, you know what I'm saying? It's so much stuff that's in the house. I go to use the restroom, stuff falling out the cabinet on my back.
On top of your head.
And all that stuff.
So I understand you have pictures, so I can discern for myself the nature of the problem, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Let's see the picture. Now tell me what I'm looking at. What is this?
That's supposed to be the playroom. It's so much stuff
The playroom
everywhere.
what, for kids?
Yes, but it's really no playroom. It's so much stuff, her stuff in there, you know, she just threw in there,
I
you know,
can't even
everywhere.
tell what that is.
Yes.
Do you have a next picture?
Junk.
What is that?
That's the car.
Is that you bringing
everywhere
stuff
we
home?
go.
Yes, ma'am, that was a light day then. I usually have the back of the seat.
What are you bringing home?
Ironing board, scrap metal, that's a ironing board. Somebody gonna need to be ironing somebody's kids' school clothes.
What are you doing with scrap metal?
Keep it. I might need
Are you
to
a welder? What you gonna do?
I'm gonna sell it, keep it, share it with somebody that might need it.
I understand you also have a video for me. Now, what room is this?
That's the dining area right there. The living room, everywhere, CDs, glasses, cheers, so much stuff is back here, you know what I'm saying? Just too much stuff.
How big is your house?
3 bedrooms, 1 bath.
What's the square footage, Miss Triplett? You know.
It's a 4-bedroom. 1.5
I understand
baths.
it's about 1,500 square feet,
No,
correct?
it's 1,726 square feet.
1,726 square feet.
If he'll give me a big one, maybe he can walk clearly.
Yeah. Now, Miss Triplett, you saw the pictures, you saw the video. Just step back away from whatever it is you're trying to do. Would you agree with me that looks a little beyond the pale?
No.
That's not quite right, though.
No.
It's a little
It's just
junkier than it
way
needs
too
to
much.
be.
It ain't junky enough.
What does all that stuff do for you?
It comforts me, Judge.
It comforts you.
Yes. If he would give me a little bit more comfort, maybe I won't have so much junk to deal with.
Do you ever sell that stuff? Do you have a purpose for it? Are you trying to build a sculpture? What's happening?
I might sell 10% of it just to make somebody smile. But they ain't gonna smile bigger than me because I go out and get my stuff. And it makes me happy. And I love my stuff, Judge.
Okay. And I bet you do, which is why I brought out an expert on hoarding to figure out what it is. Because there's a hiccup in your head. That ain't right. You know what I mean? I ain't mad, but it's not right.
I tell you all the time.
No, everybody doesn't do that. And I want to figure out why you do, because that's one of the things impeding you from getting to the altar. You don't want to have a whole bunch of junk standing between you and a ring, right?
Right.
So let's figure out why that's happening. And I brought somebody here who can help us. I brought an expert here. Her name is Cynthia Zaragoza. When you saw Miss Triplett's house, what did you see? Did you see just a little bit of mess, or we got an issue?
We definitely have an issue. It's definitely hoarding behavior, and there's definitely health risks associated with a lot of objects.
So since we don't agree on what we're saying, he sees what I see, you see something else. I brought an expert here. Her name is Cynthia Zaragoza. She's going to come forward, and she's an expert on hoarding. How are you? Thank you so much for being here. We are happy to have you. Why don't you just give me a brief recitation of your background and tell me what is hoarding and whether or not you believe Ms. Triplett is a hoarder.
So I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I've been treating hoarding since 2010. And hoarding disorder is characterized by compulsive urges and behaviors to acquire a large amount of possessions and the difficulty in involuntarily discarding those possessions. And it affects about 2 to 5% of the population.
Generally, why do hoarders hoard? What is it emotionally that they're trying to cope with?
So there's a variety of reasons for different people. There tends to be a strong attachment to objects and a difficulty in letting go and releasing.
When you saw Ms. Triplett's house, what did you see? Did you see just a little bit of mess, little disorganization, or we got an issue?
We definitely have an issue. It's definitely hoarding behavior, and there's definitely health risks associated with a lot of
Now, I know you
objects.
had an opportunity to talk to Ms. Triplett beforehand. What did you get from her? What did you feel from her when you spoke to her?
Well, Ms. Triplett is definitely very attached to her objects, and she did express that it's a coping. She likes holding on to it. It comforts her, and that's very typical.
The acquisition of stuff makes her feel more comfortable. It brings down her level of anxiety for some reason.
Yeah, there's an underlying anxiety.
Yeah, because that's what we're all doing. When we gamble, when we drink, when we eat too much, when we hoard, we're all self-soothing. There's all this cortisol stuff going on in our heads, and we want to feel better. We want to bring it down. So we engage in activities, drug taking, alcohol, sex, all that kind of thing is to bring down the anxiety. What you anxious about, Ms. Triplett?
Y'all just don't understand. About 15 years ago, something major happened to one of my family members in my home. And so I tried to go to counseling, try to get some help to help me cope with that. So I found myself picking up 1 or 2 things a day. By the time the end of the week, I got about 10 or 15 things extra in my home.
Right.
And it started to make me feel better. Very, very comfortable. Things that I might like, might not like. It's just the principle of them being there. They're my things, and it made me feel better and learn to go through this pain that I was carrying.
Yeah. Can I say this? And you can co-sign, you can tell me, Judge, you stick to your field. It's not that you feel better, it's that you feel nothing. That you stop the anxiety by engaging in other activities. I mean, liquor or anything is a momentary, it shuts down the anxiety, it shuts down the fear, it shuts down the pain, it shuts down the abandonment, but you don't feel better, you're just momentarily walled off from it. Am I right or am I wrong?
Absolutely, it's a numbing.
I might agree with that then, Judge, for momentarily.
Here's what I want to say, Ms. Triplett. I want you to get married. I want you to marry him. Because you put on here, on your compatibility test, I ask everybody, are you sexually attracted to your partner? You put the biggest yes I've ever seen in my life. It was about this tall. She had all these exclamations. I want you to get that good thing on the regular.
Yeah.
So we're going to deal with this so we can get you to that.
Man, thank you. Thank you.
Ms. Triplett,
Yes, Judge.
I know what you want him for, because you already told me, but give me 2 other qualities you love about Mr. Freeman.
Well, what I love about Mr. Freeman is he's very, very respectful and kind around my child. That's most definitely a plus. Us women today, the single parents, we need a good man that's very, very respectful around our children.
Give me 3 things you love about Ms. Triplett.
His smile.
No, I'm talking to him. You're so excited to be with him, you can't even stop. Go ahead.
She beat me to it. I love her smile, Judge.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
What else?
I love her loving heart. You know what I'm saying? She's cares about everyone. You know what I'm saying? And I love her loving her stuff. But I hate it though. It gotta go.
Let me tell you what made me do my happy dance.
Yes, sir.
When I asked you to tell me 5 things was wrong with them, you told me 5 things that were right with them. You couldn't do it.
Yes.
Then you put a couple of things that were wrong that you had to think of because you love him so much. I just got excited about that. And Mr. Freeman, other than falling out at the gas station and jumping out of the closet and scaring the woman half to death, I like you. I like how you like her. I like how much she likes you back. I think the love that you do have for each other is a wonderful, fabulous, dynamite thing. I think that whatever issues you have with respect to the gambling and the hoarding, you need to take the time. You got money. $3,000, one gambling month, just one, and put that aside for some marriage counseling so we can find out where the hurt is, where the weak is, so you can deal with it and not mask it. And then go ahead, get that woman and walk down the aisle. This matter is adjourned.
Thank you. You know what? I want to marry this man, so I guess I will eliminate some of my stuff that I very, very love because I love him more than my things. That's what I learned today when I was in the judge.
And me just letting go of all the stuff, I don't care about the stuff anymore, you know what I'm saying? I love her, you know what I'm saying? No matter what, I'm gonna be with her, no matter what.